So this demo covers the compare and contrast graphic organizer that we'll be using in this course. And in order for you to get the maximum benefit out of this demo, make sure to read the source entitled 2-year versus 4-year colleges, which one is right for you, before you begin this video. And you can find that at MrBrayman.Info by using the guest access button, or if you are one of my students, log in and you'll find it in the reading skills and videos section of the course. So this demo will show you actually more of a reminder and a review. This demo will be a reminder and review of using the prompt sheet or driving question to set your purpose, and then we'll bridge that into using the graphic organizer itself. As I've said so many times before, you must have a strong purpose for reading. You must know why you're reading something and what you should get out of it. Otherwise, those words are just going to bounce off your forehead, right? So when you set your purpose, look at the prompt. Right? Look for the action verbs in that prompt or in the driving question or in your research question, right? The best reading you'll ever do is when you're trying to answer your own research questions and your own interests. However, as you know, in school, very often you're trying to answer someone else's question. But we want to look at that question, no matter where it comes from, and look for key verbs like analyze, right? Where we have to explain how the parts fit together. Or look for any words that deal with cause and effect, where we have to explain what caused something or what is affected by something. And sometimes cause and effect tasks have synonyms like drove or impacted or enabled or resulted in or was the outcome of or changed, etc. Right? These will tip you off that you are doing a cause and effect task. And we do have a video on MrBrayman.Info that goes through cause and effect graphic organizers. And so look for that soon. Finally, you may be asked to evaluate. And remember, to evaluate is to explain why or how something was good or bad. And so sometimes you'll have synonyms in the question like benefits or downfalls or positives, negatives, best, worst, etc. You want to keep that in mind as you set your purpose, because that will shape how you read. And sometimes in cause and effect tasks, we are asked to analyze or evaluate. And sometimes in compare and contrast tasks, we are asked to analyze or evaluate. And indeed, in the task here today, we're going to use an evaluative task to complete this compare and contrast graphic organizer. All right, so here's the example prompt for this demo. Read the following article on 2-year and 4-year colleges, explain the similarities and differences between them, and then decide based on the article which kind of college you think is best for you. And I actually want you to think about this while we're going through the demo, right? Most of you listening to this are high school students, you're sophomores, juniors, freshmen. You should be thinking about this stuff. And you should be asking yourself this question, if I am going to go to college, which kind is best for me? So notice that in this task, you are being asked to compare and contrast the two types of college and then reach a conclusion about which one is best for you, which once again is evaluative. And so this kind of prompt would lead you to maybe a typical 4-paragraph compare and contrast essay where your thesis would be something like blank type of college is best for me. Now I'm going to do my best throughout the rest of this demo not to bias you towards 2- or 4-year programs. I think they're both wonderful, and I've had many friends go through both types of college and are very successful, happy adults. So I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible here. So remember, you always want to read with a purpose. Right? You read and complete a graphic organizer. And as you are reading, as you complete that organizer, you want to make sure that you are, keeping that prompt and purpose in mind. You want to make sure you're stopping frequently to add material to that graphic organizer. You're not letting the words bounce off your forehead. And so let's look at the organizer itself. And so this is kind of a blown up view so that you can see what the headings are. And really, let's work from the middle out. So the middle is the comparison, the similarities, although as you're going to see, that's going to be the last part we're actually going to do. Then to each side, we have some facts about how each thing is unique and then some analysis about why it is unique, right? So to use the language of KWL plus charts, the similarities are primarily L bullets. The how columns are also primarily L bullets or concrete detail. And then those Y columns are plus bullets or commentary or evaluation, right? So you've probably done a cause and effect graphic organizer before. And I'm sorry, not a cause and effect. You've probably done a compare and contrast graphic organizer before, and you've probably used a Venn diagram. Venn diagrams are awesome. I just don't like writing in them because there's never enough room in the middle. So this is a Venn diagram, right? I'm going to keep flipping back and forth, right? This is a Venn diagram in column form with some analysis there out at the wings to help you pre-write your essay. Right, so let's complete this, right? So I've read this article and I filled in, notice I'm filling in the wings first. I'm putting in the, that was funny. I'm putting in the, the unique hows first and then adding analysis as I go. And then the last thing I'm doing is the similarities. I think that makes much more sense and is much more direct and easy for students to do. All right, so next steps, right? This organizer can be used to demonstrate your reading skills, can be used to complete a multiple choice test, for example, a state proficiency exam or an SAT or an ACT. It can also serve as pre-writing for an essay. And that's the one that I think you're going to find is most common in this course. And finally, it can be used to make a decision, right? We could use this compare and contrast organizer to actually make a decision, right? What are the unique parts of this college? What are the unique parts of that college? What's my analysis of it? What are my feelings about those unique parts? And then finally, what are the similarities? Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. And remember that the more difficult the text is or the more difficult the task is that you need to complete, right? I mean, if I need to write a 10-page essay, I'm going to need some graphic organizers. If I'm just reading like to get a 5-minute understanding, yeah, that's great. I may not need a graphic organizer. But if I have to do a big complicated task or if that task is difficult for me, I need that graphic organizer to help me slow down and make sense of things. Because I don't want to just bounce those words off my forehead. And so thanks for watching. And remember, for more reading and writing demos, check out MrBrayman.Info and use the guest access button or look around on this YouTube channel.